Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Carol here at Oak House Journals, and oh my goodness, I've had the most amazing morning this morning. I woke up and found this little parcel on my breakfast table, my place setting this morning, and I realised also that I had reached 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube, and I'm just blown away. I never in my wildest dreams did I imagine that 1,000 people would want to watch me babble along with my videos and comment and like and want to see more of what I make. I've been a crafter all my life, having been told at school that I was no good at art because I can't draw, and it was only in later life that I realised that actually, for goodness sake, art is not just about being able to draw and paint, and I discovered mixed media, and life just took off for me. But all my life I've enjoyed covering books, making books, sewing, embroidering. Oh, you know what we're all like. We all love doing all of these things. And as I've recently just been chatting with Angela Kerr about, for me, there aren't enough lifetimes to do all the crafting and try out all the lovely things that there are out there for us to do. I just could not believe that I ever would get to 1,000 subscribers. So I am so blown away. I'm a bit emotional today. And that's something new for this old tart. I just wanted to say a massive, massive thank you to each and every one of you that has taken time to watch my videos, regardless of whether you comment or not. Those of you that have subscribed, it has meant the world to me. It does mean the world to me. So a massive, massive thank you, everybody. And normally, when you get to 1,000 subscribers, it's us that do the giveaway to you guys. And I will be doing one, but a little later on in the year. I did one at Christmas. I didn't think I'd get to 1,000 subscribers, so I didn't have to think about what I would do as a giveaway. But I promise you, be doing a giveaway a little bit later on in the year when I can get my act together. But this is, oh, sorry, I got glue on my fingers. This is what I got this morning off my lovely, lovely partner. And as you know, we do Christmas makes for each other, and my partner is not a crafter, is not a journal maker, but I make a journal each year as a Christmas make, and the deal is that I get one in return, and any other time of the year my partner is not interested in crafting. So I was blown away when this was on my breakfast plate this morning. I've wrapped it all back up again because I'm just over the moon with it. She's used some of my lovely taffeta ribbon. I love this colour ribbon. So she's been in my stash, for goodness sake, but I'll forgive her on this occasion. And then she's wrapped it up in this gorgeous, gorgeous tissue paper. And look what I've got. Guys, I'm just blown away with this. We've been watching Angela. So, morning, Angela. We've been watching Angela with her exciting, amazing envelopes, what she's been doing with those. And I just happened to comment many months ago that we'd got some black envelopes here at home that I had bought for making a journal. More of a scrapbooky type journal, and that we had these black envelopes left over, and we must use them for something or other. And lo and behold, behind the scenes, very surreptitiously, because I had no idea this was going on, those envelopes have been used to make this little folio, and also as you can see, this is the Tim Holtz correspondence paper. I had a pad of this, which was given to me as a Christmas present, and I never really took to it. But I have to say, I love it on here. So my lovely, lovely partner has made this gorgeous little folio for me. And in the back here, there are, whoops, won't come out now. Oh, it did earlier on. What's going on? Oh, there we go. That one. Why is this one not coming out? There are these two absolutely gorgeous little tickets that has been made. Look, I never would have thought to do this. Using a Stanley knife or a sharp knife, I've got a tiny little slit cut in there, and that's where these tuck away. I think that's a brilliant idea for a discreet pocket. And then this is all double layered on top of the envelope and stitched all the way round. And Maggie, my partner, hates going anywhere near my sewing machine, and I have to say I do take a deep breath when she goes near it, because I then usually have to spend 2 or 3 days unknotting the spindle underneath. But look, when I open it up, it should be like that. So let's start on this side. She's collaged a envelope here and put a Tracy Fox label on it. Another 2 tickets here tucked away in that pocket. Absolutely brilliant idea. And then tucked away inside the envelope, she's done some collaging with Tracy Fox labels. And you know, I never even realised my stash was going down. And she's even used one as a finisher piece for the end of her threads, and she's stitched that in with 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and she's put some of my vintage, or one of my vintage tickets inside there. And then this is some lovely paper. I don't know where she got this paper, but she won't share it with me. I share my stash, but she won't. When she finds something, she won't share it. So she's made this lovely little booklet, and that goes in this pocket, or this envelope here. And I'm just going to tuck that in. And she's anchored this underneath the paper that she's taken round. And then she's used one of my airmail, stickers for when I send out things to my customers on there. A little glassine envelope that she's stitched round, and some lace edge trim. And then there's another little journaling card which she's backed, and then tucked in here she's put in a fold of paper, lovely piece, and she's included that in because she knows I love fountain pens and ink pens, so she's included that in there. I mean, I'm just amazed, and this is all stitched around the outside. So going over to this side here, she's decorated the inside of the envelope, and then this is strips of paper that she's glued on top. Really effective, and I love the colouring. More Tracy Fox labels, and then she's even lined the inside of the envelope. Beautiful. And then she's used some more of my lace to create this tag, and she's put 1,000 subscribers on the back, and congratulations. 1,000 subscribers. I mean, that just is absolutely amazing. Sorry, I'm digressing, but it is absolutely amazing, everybody. Then she's done a long pocket here, and then this is all bits of vintage tickets that she stuck onto a long contemporary ticket, and then she's used one of Tracy Fox's labels, folded in half to make a tab, and then more collaging on the back and stitched. And she's edged it with some lace. And then here is another, she's made a little note, and she's put on it international artists. So, and then inside she's put me a little note, which is private, so I'm not going to read that. But basically she's saying congratulations. So that just tucks in now. And then look at this. Sorry, just need to refresh my computer. And then it opens up on this side. Look how pretty that is. I just love the colour of this paper. Really, really beautiful. And then in here, she's done a hand-stitched collage. She thought she'd try something different. I mean, she comes up with some amazing ideas in her, whoops, that's just dropped out, in her little journals. And bearing in mind, she only crafts once a year. She puts me to shame. So she's done this collage, and then she's just put a little loose running stitch through everything. I thought that was really sweet. And then same on this side. And then she's just put a little ticket in there, and that goes in that pocket like so. Whoopsie daisy, just catching on things because they're not glued down. And then another one of these long collaged tickets on the other side. More lace from my stash. You'll have seen that in my journals, everybody. And then on this side, she's made another little book for me using some of this beautiful kind of like aqua blue, and then an airmail sticker as the tab to help that come out the pocket, and then beautiful paper just stitched in. I was blown away this morning. I love getting her Christmas journal, but when I saw the pressy, I was delighted. And then when I opened it up and saw that she'd made this little envelope folio from four of our black envelopes, I was just blown away. I mean, I've thought about doing this several times and I've never done one. So, you know, she's beaten me to that. Good grief. I just love it. So thank you for indulging me, everybody. I just had to share that with you because I was just so blown away this morning at reaching the 1,000 subscriber limit, and or not limit, target, if you will, and also getting this. So oh my goodness, I've had an amazing morning, absolutely amazing. Okay, I was going to, these are the Nagasaki papers that I had out the other day for carrying on with the collaging on the box. This is what the box looks like. I did say I would come back to you with this all collaged on the inside and the box reassembled, but I just thought I'd come on and do that quick share of this little thing, and so I haven't actually got round to doing this, but I just thought quickly whilst I'm on, I would just show you that this is what it looks like when you do both sides and glue down any loose edges and spend time trimming it. And it does take time to trim it. Well, it might not for you, but it does for me, because it's not actually, even though it looks a very easy shape for a box, it actually isn't. It's got these kind of little beveled corners down in these sections here, which are a little bit tricky to get nice and neat. But anyway, so that's what this looks like. And I will get on and collage this today using these papers well, my scraps first and then these bits. But what I thought I would just very quickly share with you some of the books that I use when I'm collaging. Obviously I use those scraps from my digiprints, but these are some of the other papers I use. Now these are all old vintage books or books that I've come across. You don't have to use old books. You can use modern contemporary book pages. You can use absolutely anything, but what I like to get is I like to get the different tones of colour of sepia coming through, and then just have pops and splashes of colour. Now this is a really good book. I found is the manual, as you can read, the Manual of Flowering Plants of California, and as you can see I picked it up quite cheaply. I think I got it online from a second-hand bookshop, and bookseller rather, and as you can see, it's all botanical, and it has these lovely black and white images all the way through. This book is absolutely stuffed with them, and as you can see, I've cut out some signatures there so that I can use the papers, and that's what I tend to do. I tend to cut out a signature and use the papers, and any offcuts. Look at this, it's just amazing, and these make fantastic images for collaging, for putting on tags, and it is absolutely stuffed. I mean, I've had this book ages and I haven't used a fraction of it. But what I tend to do is I tend to gut my books by taking out a signature, and then I use my pages, and what I don't use I tend to just leave loose in the front of my books, along with any other images. And you will quite often see books on my shelves with an elastic band around them, and that is really just because it holds those bits of paper in, because, oh crikey, if you drop one of these and the papers go flying around, it's a nuisance. So this is the second of my Bismarck book. You've probably heard me refer to this book several times. I bought a pair of them. I finished one book, and this is the second book that I'm working my way through. It's a gorgeous leather-bound book. I bought it because I love the colour. I love this. And as you know, I plan to make some naked journals out of these covers in due course. But as you can see, the book was in really bad condition. Both of them were. But the font and the paper inside was just amazing. Let me just get a little bit better in camera for you. And I just love using this paper. I love the font, if I can get it up to the camera for you. So, my camera, when I get up close, never really wants to focus. Let me just see if I can get it. Sorry guys, bear with me. No, it never... Do you know, it never really wants to focus. I see other people do that on their videos and it works, but it doesn't work on mine. Anyway, so there's an image of Bismarck when he was a student. But as I was saying, what I do is I put my loose pages, if I've still got my main book in place, I tend to put my loose pages in the front here. And in this book, at the end of, let me show you. Whoop, there's a loose page. I lied, obviously. At the end of chapters in this book, where are we? Let's see if I can find them, or I might have. There we go. I get lovely little decorative pieces like this, and these lovely, there must be a name for these, where they use a decorative piece of calligraphy or illumination for the first letter starting off a sentence. So when I come across those, I tend to put them inside my book and keep them nice and safe. So I always know I've got scrap paper in the front of my books if I need them. I also keep these. Now, I was really lucky to have got an old family Bible. Oh, that's a ending to a chapter out of this book. They do these lovely little decorative pieces, so I like to save those and keep them handy, so I just pop them in the front of the book. But inside this book, you can see I've got these lovely letters that start off the beginning of chapters. Now, I happen to have a really old family Bible, and it was in such a terrible condition, there was no way I could restore it, and the paper is very, very fine. So basically it was falling apart, and when my aged aunt gave me the Bible, she is, or was, she's in her mid-90s now, she was a crafter herself, and was more into weaving and knitting, and she was a big part of the Weavers Guild here in the UK and America. And she said to me, darling, just use the Bible for whatever crafting you want. Basically because it was falling apart. I won't be offended, and there was no point in keeping it because, you know, as I say, it really was in a terrible state. So I've gone through and I've taken some of those letters and I keep them inside the book so I know where they are. But, excuse me for moving, these are some of the scraps from the Bible that I use every part of it, and I love these and love using them in collaging. I also use, this is a piece of my father's penmanship. Sorry. We have 6 pet bantams that roam around our garden, and that one that's making a noise, which you're probably picking up on camera, is Joan. She's a little tiny chestnut coloured bantam and she's actually outside my craft window and she's calling to me because she wants a handful of seed. She's a cheeky little girl, so sorry about that, guys. Going back to this is a piece of my dad's penmanship. My dad had really nice copper plate handwriting, and for those of you that have seen one of my previous videos, you will know that I always include a little snippet of some of my dad's penmanship somewhere or other in everything I make, and it's not always visible. It might be behind something else, or it might be as part of a collaging, but that's kind of just something that I do. Another book I use is this lovely Masters Ready Reckoner. The cover has seen better days, but I will use it at some stage to make a little notebook. But this has got, as you can see, not in particularly good condition, but it's got some lovely pages in it. And I have used these quite often as full-size pages, reinforced in my little mini trifold journals. It's quite a difficult page for me to work with because it's darker than the tea-stained paper that I like to use, so it gives me a bit of a challenge. But this is great for collaging because of the numbers. It gives a bit of interest, but also because it's got a lovely tone, and it's got some pages are different towards the back. This was owned by RD, somebody who lived in Bromley. But as you can see, some of the pages at the back are different. They're foreign money and weights and measures and things like that. So they add a lot of interest to collages. So I like using those. This is an old agricultural French notebook that I bought off Etsy from Forever French. There are some beautiful items in this shop, and this was a little one that I bought. I loved it. I love the size of it. I like using these pages in my collages as well, as you can see. And these are the diary pages, but the back has adverts and things like that. So I use that, and it's all on this, the diary part all has these lovely grid paper. So as it says, it's a 1932 agenda or diary. So I love using that. And as you can see, this has seen better days. I'm not sure if I will use this cover in the future. I might cover it actually rather than actually use it as it is, because I think reinforcing it won't be enough. But isn't it great when you get these things? We as crafters can see other uses for them, you know, or repurpose them. So yeah, I mean, you can see here it's got canvas down the spine, and then this has got a little pocket at the back here like the moleskins. Absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, you'll see at some stage in the future, one of my projects will be covering this. And then this is another book I like to use. This is a French a contemporary French book. I bought it for, I think it was £1.50. Yeah, there we go, £1.50. When I was down in Rye, sorry, not Ross on Wye, Rye, R-Y-E, visiting that aged aunt that I was talking to you about, because she lives at Hastings, which is just further up the coast. And I just happened to come across this in a second-hand shop down there, and I bought it. And I like the paper on this, and it's got obviously the French text, and then more of those Bible pages are tucked away in the front for those lovely, lovely, lovely letters. And she will probably get turned into not a journal that will go in my Etsy shop. She's too contemporary, but I like this cover. I love the spine. So what I will probably do is I will probably bind in some pockets and use her for storing things like this in, just because she'll look pretty on my bookshelf. So that's it, everybody. I just thought I would just share with you some of the books that I will be using to do my collaging. I will come back to you with my next video, or in my next video, doing what I promised to do, which was collaged the inside of the box and reassembled it, ready for doing some collaging with you on the outside. So thanks so much, everybody, for bearing with me, and a massive, 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 I can't say massive enough. I can't say thank you enough to everybody that has subscribed. Thank you so much. I really do mean that from the bottom of my heart. I only joined YouTube in October of last year, and the support and inspiration on here in our community is absolutely awesome. It really is. And we get very, very little negativity in terms of comments or thumbs down. Obviously, you can't please all the people all the time. I am just completely blown away by what an awesome community we have, and long may it last. So enough babbling. And Leanne, be careful what you wish for in terms of babbling videos. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll see you again in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.